what is your observation on China right now? I was thinking about you because I thought that you would have been in China during the whole time, and wanted to get a grounds information from you.
I flew out on the 9th, on the 10th of January.
Right.
Just randomly. I flew to Thailand on the 9th, and a couple of days later, everything shut down.
Right.
So I just happened to be out, and then everything shut down. You couldn't fly in, and so no, I missed that. But then I got locked down in Thailand. So now China's opening up to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. People are going back to work. People are shopping. People are going on vacations. Tourism is going up. That's a little surprising. Like, we knew people were going to go back to work, and we knew people were going to go to the supermarket. But if, they're going to tourist sites, taking domestic vacations.
Yes. Heck.
That's a little bit surprising. Like, that shows a real level of confidence to say, hey, let's go on a vacation.
Are they even allowed?
Yeah, domestically, sure. I mean, people can fly around domestically. They can do that stuff. If you go international, obviously it's more problematic, but yeah. So
is it encouraged to have a crowded place, to have a crowd gathering?
In theory, no, but it's hard to get a good read on what's happening everywhere, right? You can get anecdotal stories. Oh, look at all these people went to the park. Oh, look at all the people are on the sidewalk. But it's hard to know if this is happening overall, or, but no, I mean, it's people are coming back, and they're, we'll see if they ramp up all the way back to full normal behavior, or if they go maybe 70% of the way there.
I'm quite sure.
Like movie theaters. Like, who's going to the movie theater right now?
Is it even open?
Yeah, so that's, you could see certain things are not going to come back, but supermarkets look pretty packed from everything I've seen. People are out on the street. People are in their cars going to work, on the subway. I mean, if everyone's going back to work, then everyone's getting on the subway and the bus.
Now, are you in a hurry to go back to China yourself?
No, not really. I'm locked into projects in Thailand for a month and a half anyways. So that's fine. We'll see what things look like in May.
What's the Jeff Towson's prediction on the market economy in China? How long does it take to get back to normal?
I don't know. I'm not really macro. I don't get a good read of economics generally. Industry by industry, I find it a little easier to understand. Mm-hmm. So digital, which is where I spend my time, things went down for sure. Not as much shopping online, not as much ordering stuff online, because, if you sit at home all day, you just do less stuff. People spend less money when you sit at home. When you go out to the mall, you spend money. When you go out with your friends, you spend money. But if the whole country's sitting in their apartment, there's just a lower level of economic activity. So everything came down.
There's no delivery as well, or
I mean, they do that. I mean, so there is delivery, and so that went up a bit. People ordered more gym equipment. That went up a bit. But generally speaking, everything just came down.
Right.
Because we're all hanging out at home. So people just don't spend that much.
Which sector have been the winner aside from healthcare?
I think everyone got hit pretty much. Couple exceptions, but pretty much everyone got hit.
Who are the exceptions?
Auto sales, bars, nightclubs, museums, tourism, travel, luxury purchases. Everybody came down. Mm-hmm. And then certain sectors kind of escaped that. So gym equipment did better because everyone ordered gym equipment for their home. Necessities of life, flower sales were off the charts because everyone was cooking at home.
All right, I thought you said flowers as in flowers.
Flour, Flour.
Okay.
So right. I mean, there are certain little isolated things, but generally everything went down. And that's kind of be expected. And now it's a matter of which comes up fast versus which comes up slow.
Mm-hmm.
So things like supermarkets come up very, very fast.
Mm-hmm.
But are restaurants going to come up fast or slow? I mean, in a month, are we going to see the restaurants packed again, or are they still going to be half empty? Because people are just sort of avoiding. Right? So it's this rate of recovery. Some are fast, some are slow is going to be the question.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know. But
so would the trend in China right now be a good indication of what the world is going to experience in terms of the economy in 6 months' time?
Yeah. I mean, China went first, right? They got hit first. They quarantined people first. That was a really radical idea. When China started quarantining millions and millions of people, everyone thought that was crazy.
Yep.
And now everyone else is doing it, right?
Yep.
So they went first, and they're first in recovery as well. Well, Singapore as well, and some others, but so people are back at work, and we'll see if the virus comes back, and then we'll also see, is consumer behavior different now? Are consumers the same now as before? Or are they more pessimistic? Are they more hesitant? Are they no longer going to the movies because they're used to watching at home now? Have their habits changed?
Right.
My guess, which is just a guess, because I don't believe any of the numbers I've seen on this, my guess is that Chinese consumers are notoriously optimistic. They're among some of the most optimistic people on the planet are Chinese consumers. So that makes you more willing to spend. It makes you more willing to, engage and do things like that. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to see them come back faster than other countries. But that's a guess, but I think that's fairly consistent. They tend to be very optimistic about their future population relative to other countries.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of my guess, is they're going to come back really pretty fast. But we'll see. We'll know in another month or so.
If the global economy is sick right now, it doesn't matter how well China is doing, it's going to be affected, isn't it? No one's going to buy stuff from China.
It depends what sectors. I mean, if you're in manufacturing in China, then that's a problem because, you're selling to the world and a lot of the world is shut down. If you're a local business serving consumers, well, the Chinese consumers are still there. They still have all their money. So those businesses are not necessarily affected by what happens in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're serving Chinese consumers, you can sell to them today. But definitely manufacturing, like if you're a mine in Brazil and you're selling iron ore to steel makers of China, okay, they're probably not placing very many orders right now.
Mm.
But if you're selling avocados in Mexico, well, Chinese consumers are becoming pretty decent consumers of avocados. So, it kind of depends. China is not as dependent on the world economy as it used to be. It's more and more sort of focused on its own domestic consumption. Not unlike the US, 70% of the US GDP is about American consumption. So a lot of that is independent, but some of it's interconnected, for sure.